2, 5. Entry to front lobby, reached by unknown intruder.
A tale like this always starts simple. A mystery about a toy factory whose staff all vanished a decade prior. Well, almost all. It was dusk when the intruder broke into the factory. Its main lobby provided a warm welcome for all. But these days, it is an old, forgotten thing. It didn't take our lone intruder long before the first voice of the factory rose over the silence.
Got my warning. It's not too late to turn around. I just hope that you're certain whatever you're doing is worth it.
They ignored the warning, of course, stealing a Playtime grab pack, once used by staff and invented by the elusive company founder, Elliot Ludwig. The next creation our guest encountered was none other than Playtime mascot Huggy Wuggy. He loomed over the foyer with a wide, vacant smile. Weaker people would have laughed at that point, and yet this intruder progressed down, kicking up pieces of the distant past in their descent.
It's a pretty great feeling too.
And this is where the fun began. Our intruder stirred one of the factory's security measures, and he performed exactly as he was designed. Our intruder scrambled through ventilation ducts with Huggy not far behind. The ventilation in this place has always been a maze. It's impressive this intruder made it through at all. Eventually, they made their way into an open warehouse, narrowly avoiding a collapsing catwalk that sent our dear Huggy plummeting into the depths below. They lingered on the catwalks for quite some time.
We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not. End of...
Eventually, they moved on into a room the public was never meant to see. It wasn't a factory floor or corporate office. This place was different. And yet, not even a hint of the missing staff. At the end of a long hall, there was a room, and inside that room, there was a glass case. Inside that glass case, a doll. Poppy.
Security log 0, 1, 2, 6. Unscheduled transit access in game station.
With Poppy out of her case, she began to guide the intruder through the office of Elliot Ludwig.
How did he manage to stay determined even after suffering such a tragic loss? It all began...
When Poppy gave them an out, there was little protest.
I'd like to pay you back. There's a train station nearby. It needs a code, and I have it.
Why, it's so easy.
Listen, I'm going to need you to trust me.
The intruder followed closely behind, descending into another section of the facility, the game station. It was here the intruder met another of Playtime's creations.
A new playmate!
Mommy Longlegs. In some ways, the game station had been hers, and so, with 2 trespassers in her reach, she saw fit to make a game of Poppy and her friend.
Obey the rules, or I'll tear you apart and eat your insides while you're still alive.
First stop was musical memory, a cognitive test. Simple, but a useful metric for us. Next was Whack-a-Wuggy, primarily concerned with reaction times. How those small ones always scurry and swap. The ex-employee made their way to the third and final game, but not before running into a familiar silhouette. This experiment, Kissy Missy, had a calmer, more cautious demeanor. She even helped our intruder pass through the halls. At the last game, over a dozen legs and a long, winding body slinked behind our trespasser. When they came face to face with Mommy Longlegs, though, there was nothing left but anger. What's left of her is his now. And inside a control room far above the game station, they were reunited with Poppy.
I'll board the train. We need to leave.
They entered the completed code, and the old engine began to stir. The path leading out seemed clear. And yet, something unforeseen happened.
You're perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry. I can't let you leave.
It has long been the custom of those who call this factory home to use others for personal gain, to stab them in the back. I'm certain it came to Poppy naturally.
Security log 0127. Flow reversal triggered in gas reduction zone.
Even dazed, I'm sure they must remember it all quite clearly. Experiment 1188. Catnap. With nowhere else to go and seemingly no one to turn to, there appeared only one way onward. This is where they encountered a most infuriating ally.
Hey, can you hear me? I don't want you to die, so I'm gonna help you. Oh, and by the way, my name is Ali. Nice to meet you.
After a short pass through the train station, our uninvited guests began their descent to Playcare, Playtime Co.'s own on-site orphanage, and Elliot's grand beacon of hope. Below, they received a key from their newfound ally, one that led directly to the still-beating heart of Playcare. The red smoke. To our guest, not all was told, but to leave, they had to redirect the gas. All that seemed left was the push of a button.
Oh no! Someone killed the power. Find the building's backup generator. Good luck.
The home sweet home. Once, Catnap was a fixture of this place. At night, it was his red smoke that lulled the many children into slumber, but now it had become a nightmare. Trust is a funny thing. It can often be earned or broken in but an instant. But what we make of those who've broken that trust is a very individual viewpoint.
Wrong. Listen, I'm not your enemy, but I can't just let you leave. I need you, so we can get revenge on those monsters who've tortured you, who've tortured us.
Power restored to the console, the master battery in hand, the finish line. I'm sure that's how it must have felt. The human mind is fascinating. Each wants to believe in its own sense of significance. Many live their whole life in ignorance of the truth. That's really their weak. But in a corner, sometimes we reveal ourselves as something more. And our intruder, they're something special indeed. Which inevitably brings everything back to our dear old Poppy. And with her was the truth.
You came back because of your coworkers. This is your answer. We called it. The hour of joy.
The guilty, the innocent, didn't matter. The experiments killed everyone.
Soon as we reach the bottom, we'll send the lift back up. Just hold tight, okay? Alright. We need to be cautious. There's something... No! Lizzie!
Which brings us to now, doesn't it? Down they come, like lambs to the slaughter.